Welcome back to another episode of PA Whiskey Guys. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jesse.
And we're back with episode 17. What's going on, Jess?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Hell, rainy out today.
Yep, typical PA weather.
Yeah, man. Cold, it's nice, now it's rain.
We get a nice day here, and then it goes to rain for the next week and a half.
Yeah. I had a good weekend on the golf course.
Nice.
Played down Mountain Valley. That was nice. So jumping into this episode, like I said, it's episode 17. We're going to visit Thomas S. Moore, a Madeira Cask Finish. So this is 96.5 proof. And again, this is the finished in Madeira casks, and it's part of their extended cask finish series. The what was I thinking of there? Though the mash bill is undisclosed. They think a high rye bourbon, and we're here where the base bourbon is aged several years before finishing. So
yeah, I think this is like a 4-year aged bourbon.
Yeah.
I think in some things that I was looking at, I saw that. So
this is the first of the Thomas S. Moore brand name series, whatever, that I've had.
Yeah, I've never had this. Actually, I've never had any of them. I don't believe. Maybe one. A Cabernet finish one. I think they make a Cabernet one.
They do.
Now that I'm thinking of it, I was gonna say this is the first time I ever had it, but I think I did have one. March Madness time.
Okay.
Jeff had. I think he has. He definitely has a bottle. I don't think it was this one. So.
Okay.
They do make a bunch of varieties. You know, this one they make. Yeah, they definitely make the cab. They make a port. They make this one.
There's a cognac.
There's a cognac one.
Yeah.
There's a Chardonnay one. I think I saw once.
Yeah.
These are like $70 bottles, and I believe when you got this one, you pay like $40 maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive. It was odd. I think there was a sale going on too.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're changing labeling or something because like it was a statewide sale for us here in PA, but
they had all the. It seemed like they had all the finishes when I bought this one.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I've only ever seen the cab and the Chardonnay one at the stores that I was visiting. So, little history on Thomas S. Moore. They're from the Barton Distillery, Barton 1792 Distillery, which was the roots traced back to 1879, and is named after the year Kentucky became a state, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
Thomas S. Moore line pays homage to one of the original distillery founders. The distillery is located in Bardstown, Kentucky, which is the heart of bourbon country, as everybody says. Barton 1792 is actually owned by the Sazerac Company, who also makes Buffalo Trace. We all know their products. Everybody should know their products, whatever. This Madeira Cask Finish, the cask itself is known for imparting rich oxidized wine flavors and notes of caramelized sugar and dried fruit. So I actually had to look up Madeira Cask or Madeira wine, which I've heard of. I've heard of the wine, I don't recall ever having it or whatever, but
well, me neither.
It comes from the Portuguese island of Madeira, about 600 miles southwest of Portugal. So, I mean, it's, it's
I don't even know how to gauge that.
No, me either. Never been out there.
New York to North Carolina, I would assume?
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of crazy things about the barrel and the wine itself, how it's created or whatever, so we're not going to dive too into that because it's I don't know the facts on how long this bourbon sat in the wine barrels and, as a finishing thing or whatever, but I would imagine it's pretty good. Any kind of like wines from that region, or when I've had the wine, it's really good, so... I
don't recall ever having that kind of wine.
No, I don't. I don't either. I mean, I don't think so, unless there's like a style that United States have tried. And for us, I've been through the Finger Lakes many a times, but
Yeah.
I can't recall all the things that we've tried. So,
Mm.
but yeah. So from Barton, 1792 distillery. As Chris said, there's no mash bill.
Oh yeah,
We do have the proof, which he said. So,
nothing much on this one. This is again, it's just a quiet brand. I don't really see this one much. Don't hear about it.
yeah, I don't see many people talking about it or anything like that. So, again, not sure of the distribution of it or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Let's go ahead and jump to the nose of these.
yeah.
For this one, I guess.
No, I'm nosing it. I'm getting I get the wine barrel. I can understand where that's coming from. It's kind of not dominant, but it's there. The dustiness or like a grape peel, like when they, if it's been sitting around or whatever, or I guess really the unfinished barrel or unused barrel, like when they, before they, because I've smelled wine barrels and stuff before. So the nose is pretty good. I'm getting a little vanilla.
Yeah, I have dried fruit.
I'm getting fruit.
Dried
I was gonna
fruit,
say
oak.
fruit. Definitely fruit. It's actually, again, we typically pour these before we start recording.
Yeah.
And it's opened up quite a bit since we poured it. It's not a fresh crack, but it's a pretty newer bottle.
Yeah, it's only been open 2 months, roughly.
I'm getting some light oak in there.
Yeah.
And honestly, the nose is really pleasant. Believe it or not, I wasn't.
Yeah, it's good.
Wasn't sure what to expect.
No.
I should say.
Yeah, that vanilla's starting to open up a little bit for me. Again, that vanilla, the like subtle sweetness, dried fruit, oak. I get a little bit of that wine barrel kind of you were describing.
Yeah, the dry fruit is kind of dominant there for me. I mean, that's the dominant smell that I'm getting. Let's see, you're dipping in. What do you think on the palate?
I'm going to chew that one a little bit. I get a caramelized sugar. I don't want to say caramelized sugar, like a, what's it called when you brown butter up? When you're caramelizing butter?
Yeah, I know. I kind of know where you're going.
That candied butter.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to say a toffee, but more of like a buttery brown sugar kind of deal.
So
that's been toasted a little bit.
My first taste, I got a lot of flavor. I couldn't describe it because I think the youthfulness of this whiskey is super dominant.
Yeah.
Again, first sip of the day for me, of course, too.
Yeah, me too.
It really hit me, but it was tasty for the first second or two.
Gone though.
So I got to go back to it here, but
it's quick. Nothing really lasts. I have a nutty finish. It finishes out like a dry nut.
Yeah, I don't.
Gotta chew it a little bit.
I definitely get the oak, which obviously we always typically get the oak. I do get a little fruitness in there.
Yeah.
The punch of the alcohol or ethanol is gone. I don't get that now.
It's still tingly on the back of the tongue.
Yeah, I get a little spiciness there. A little spice from something.
And then I get that walnut or that like an almond, but the walnut, because the walnut to me is drier.
Yeah, dry. Yep.
So I definitely get that in the finish.
I'm reading the little cheat sheet we have. The dryness, and they describe it, which I can 100% because I like dry wine. It's like the tannins from the wood.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
oak. That's what that dryness probably is.
Okay.
That would be my guess. I mean, that's what they describe it as. And I know, like, in other bourbons, like, especially higher aged ones, you get that tannic flavor, you know, which is the barrel, I kind of like this. I don't know. I remember you saying when you first cracked this and got it that you weren't sure about it.
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with it. Now letting it sit a little bit. It's
the only thing that gets me is how young it appears to be. Again, there's no age statement on it or whatever. So
color's nice on it.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know,
it has like a reddish, unless it's our lighting in here, but it seems like it's almost a red, like an amber.
Yeah,
a dark amber. I like it. I'd like to compare the other series of these, the other finishes, because I don't know much about cognac or however you say
cognac.
That. Yeah, cognac.
I've had some of it, but that's a whole different.
Something that's like a brandy.
I guess so.
Similar to, right?
Yeah, I think actually this. I think the Madeira cask. I saw something about brandy. In the notes or the Madeira wine or something. Maybe I was looking at maybe I was looking at something else.
No, they add brandy to it to halt the fermentation process.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Madeira, yep.
There's so many things.
And it also increases the alcohol content. They did say the Madeira wines are the one of the most stable wines. Mm-hmm. They can last for decades, if not centuries.
Oh, wow.
Or vice versa.
Well, I mean, it makes sense probably coming from over there. That's probably why they developed that wine.
Yep. They said opened or unopened, they'll last.
It says Madeira wines are known for their rich, nutty, and caramelized flavors, so... Yeah. I mean, I guess that's where they're basing their tasting notes off
of. And all that in the finish, too.
On the finish of this bourbon, I like it. I kind of like it. Yeah. I mean... For the price, it's great.
Not bad.
Not bad. Again, it's a little young, but again, I think we're in a sweet spot of 6+ years. You get to 5 and things start going right when you're doing the whiskey and stuff like that. But
again, it's under 100 proof, so we realize that we're a little bit above 100 proof. We like.
Yeah, that too. That too. I think that's been changing for me. Like we've had some higher proof stuff. Just sips in general and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm probably still in that 100 to 110. Yeah, it depends. It depends on what we're trying. So
it's a neat looking bottle though. It's a little different.
Yeah,
stands out from the crowd.
Yeah, definitely.
Tall and square. So, what's your final thoughts on this?
I give it a thumbs up.
Hell yeah!
It's worth a try. I mean.
With it again, I don't think I've seen this in bars, like restaurants. I don't remember recalling seeing it on like a drink menu.
No,
their pour menu when they give you your pour list.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to many places since restaurant wise or whiskey bars. I mean, we don't really have that many around us here, but I know we were at a couple. But I want to say there is one on the one that we went to.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, when Mardi Gras was going around.
Oh yeah,
going on that place. There might have been something. We have to check that. I want to say there was a Thomas S. Moore on there, maybe.
Okay.
Which is if it's again, they're catering to all kinds of different palates.
Yeah. We were out just the last week, and I know it wasn't on there, but they didn't have an extensive list. They had a few Buffalo Trace products, but that was, and then you're Canadians. But.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I give this a thumbs up as well. So,
yeah, if you guys see this, I mean, try it. I don't know. Like we said, it was a $70 bottle, down to like 40 something bucks, and
it was good percent.
That could be done because of branding, or maybe it wasn't selling. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't selling.
It was a little dust on the bottle when I bought it.
Yeah.
So that goes to say anything. Now again, I don't know if this was the slower selling one. The other ones, I didn't pay much attention to the Chardonnay or the port.
I know Woodford makes this type of finish.
Yes, that's a little bit more of an expensive bottle.
Yeah, I think it was over $100 maybe for that one.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that recently. So
yeah, I saw that the same time I picked this one up.
Yeah.
So, well, all right. So don't forget, like and subscribe on major platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, we're on all of them.
So
we're trying to keep up. Like I said, we had that. We had once you listen to this, we're gonna hopefully be a couple episodes ahead. So, we had a 2-week hiatus there, traveling and we had some stuff going on. You know, work and was busy for all of us, and you know, we're trying.
Hopefully, John will join us one of these days.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, like as Chris said, you know, like, comment, share.
Yeah.
You know, and
leave us a message, comment.
Yeah, I will answer anything. You know,
Yep.
we'll answer any questions, and you know, we do have a couple of people that reached out. You know, we want to do something and bring some other people around, and you know,
Definitely.
but yeah.
All right, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jesse.
We'll catch you with the cork out.